How you guys doing today? So basically, what I'm going to talk about today is basically if they gun me down. I mean, know about the Michael Brown case. Basically, the Michael Brown case, for those of you who don't know, it was an 18-year-old, I guess you call him a kid, you call him a man. He was gunned down in Ferguson, Missouri. He was unarmed, he was in the middle of the streets, and he had his hands up. And the police shot him dead. And it kind of bothered me. I don't know why, it was just something that kind of just like, I don't know, why is this affecting me so much? And I started looking back at my own life, and I started looking at the pictures and things like that. And, you know, I had pictures when I was 16 years old, 20 years old, 20 years old, 22 years old, and 27. And, you know, if you didn't know me and you just saw these pictures, you know, it can give you two completely different stories about me and my reality. So, basically, what I'm going to talk to you today about is a story where I almost got gunned down. The first picture when I was 16 years old, this was the summer before my junior year. So the summer before I was rated the #1 running back in the state of Illinois for 2004. But I almost didn't live to see this day, or to see that day after my almost didn't get to see live 16. So basically, what I'm going to do this week, I'm speaking 4 times for chapters. I'm going to give you some of the most intimate, most shameful, most glorious stories of my life. So basically, I'm going to talk about stories from my life, whether dealing with murder, whether dealing with sex, dealing with suicide, all these things. So I'm going to be very vulnerable to you guys, and I'm going to express and open my soul unto you guys. So, I don't know if you guys heard me before when I came to chapel last year. Some of you guys, it's your first time hearing me. I'm kind of a little unorthodox. I do things. I like to, you know, shock people. You know, I like to dance and things like that. So, you know, get the nerves out. You know, I always like to, you know, do a little dance, a little step or something. So, guys, let's get up, man. Let's turn up. We got 2 minutes to turn up, all right? So get up. Everybody get up. So when I'm coming out of this First Peter, it says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." So, 16 years old, tell you a little bit of background about my life. I'm originally from the south side of Chicago. My dad is from the Rockwell Gardens in LeClaire, of course, on the west side. My mom is from 59th in King Drive. And I grew up in the city on the south side until probably around 8 or 9. Then we moved to the suburbs, the north suburbs. So all my family was from the south side, and I had a lot of cousins, a lot of guy cousins that I really looked up to. I really admired. At that point in my time, it really wasn't a lot of men in my life. So I kind of looked up to my older cousins as, kind of father figures in my eyes. But, my cousins were from, I don't know if you guys know what the low end is. So that was basically when the Robert Taylor homes, the Stateway Gardens, things like that. So it's from anywhere from 22nd Street to 53rd. And most of my cousins were from 47th in Michigan, which was the Rosenwald. And, I always used to ask my mom, like, man, can I go to the Rosenwald with my cousins? Can I do this? Can I do that with my cousins? Can I do this? Can I do that? And she always would say, no, no, no. And it kind of bothered me. I was always mad. And, my cousins would make fun of me. They would call me, white. Because I live in the suburbs. They would call me bougie, things like that. So I just always, kind of wanted to be, down, I guess you could say. So when I was 15 years old, I had an opportunity to go to one of my cousin's parties. My cousin was like turning maybe, if I was 15, he was probably about 24, 25. And I went to this, house party on the low end and things like that. So, having a good time, things like that. But in my heart, I was like, man, this is not my scene. This is where I'm not supposed to be here. And one of the guys from the building, one of my brother's friends and things like that, he basically got into it with somebody. So, they barking or whatever. So I'm like sitting there, because, he started fighting and I got to jump in and things like that. And basically, I'm right there. He's, the guys, they arguing right here. I'm right here, about to, bust a move on them or whatever, just in case something happens. And then he did something that changed the game. Pulled out 9mm copy, pointed both of us. At that point in my time, I kind of just go back to that moment. And I retrace kind of like, dang, man, like that moment in my life. And I see that picture, and I realize, like, man, I never would have accomplished all the things that I accomplished because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, in the wrong neighborhood, somewhere I was not supposed to be. And I wondered if I would have got shot down like Mike Brown, how they would have perceived me. Would I be, or I wouldn't have been the master graduate. I wouldn't have been, the guy in the suit and tie with the LeClaire, the lapel, flower on his suit jacket. I might have been portrayed as this because that's what I kind of looked up to at that time. I had braids at the time. Had my pants sagging, had the Air Force Ones and all that stuff. Just trying to be, like everybody else. But I realized that I was called apart. God called me apart from that. And there's not nothing wrong with that, but kind of how you dress is kind of your perception. That's how people perceive you. All right, so you have your pants sagging, and nowadays you got the dirty dreads and the hat cocked to the side. People are going to perceive you as a thug or a hoodlum and things like that, and you might not get that benefit of the doubt. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is that you guys are here at Hope Academy. God has called you out. God has a plan for you. God has a future for you. You have been called out. I know some of you guys come from neighborhoods and a lot where there's a lot of negative influences and things like that. And sometimes, you want to be, I guess you can say, down. You want to be true to your friends and things like that, to your family. But those are sometimes the very same things that are going to be your demise. My family, my cousins, the people I look up to was almost my demise of my life. And I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I wouldn't have been an NFL player. I wouldn't have been the #1 running back in I wouldn't went to college, to the University of Illinois. I wouldn't graduated with my master's degree. All because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people, even though they were my family. So, as I said before, I just want to talk to you just for 10, 15 minutes. Like I said, you have been called out. You guys are a royal priesthood. You guys are a chosen generation. For such a time as this, it's a lot going on in Chicago. God called you to be a change, to be an agent of change. All right? Sometimes we don't have to be vocal, just our demeanor, how we dress, how we look, how we present ourselves, how we speak, the places we go and where we don't go. All right? People are watching. Fast forward, I'm the only person in my family, on my mother's side, that has a master's degree. I was the first person in my generation to graduate from college. All my cousins, they didn't even graduate from high school. They all dropped out. So, you guys, hang with like-minded people. Hang out with people who have your best interests in mind. Listen to that little feeling when you want to go to that party, somewhere that you're not supposed to be, or you want to do this, you want to do that. Do not compromise what you want temporarily for your future, what you want in the future. All right? Instant gratification. Do not seek instant gratification if it's going to affect your future. So that's basically all I want to say. And basically how the story ended. That gun right there. And it was a house party. Somebody talked him out of it. Put the gun down. Eventually the guy that had the gun, he was killed.